get here. Make it epic, it's the stage like you did before. Make it ring, make it bleed, make it really so.
The next song, The Unforgiven III from Death Magnetic, without any other Metallica members. It's all Symphony. And it's even the guitar solo, and it's just James on vocals, not holding a guitar. He's just up there doing vocals. And I got to say, I felt it in the theater. I feel it every time this version of the song, every time I've heard it. James sings his heart out on this, because to me, this from what just from reading the lyrics, knowing James' journey, this song has, like, all the Unforgivens have a big part of his feelings just put into it. But this is his chance to play this song live in front of a lot of people and get it out there. And he really belts it. And I feel the emotion coming from James on this, especially knowing that him coming to terms with his own ailments from before Death Magnetic, going into rehab, coming back out to try and rebuild his life and his family, and to know that he went to rehab again right after S&M2, with us still not knowing 100% the ins and outs of why. I'm sure the band members know, but they're not really, like, going into detail. And from what I understand, it was James basically being very self-conscious of, I need to go and recenter myself. Whether or not he was slipping off the wagon with substance, or whether or not it was other things. Because he's gone on to say that, like, he feels like we as a society, not only are we addicted to substance, we're addicted to media, we're addicted to news, we're addicted to our cell phones, we're addicted to social media. It's like, so a lot of that can just, I'm not sure if that's what it was, a multiple of things, but, you know, you could almost, like, knowing that he went to rehab right after this and he was looking forward to this point so much, it might affect my score a little bit, but I gave it a 10 because it's powerful as shit. I'm going to hit it over on to Dick.
This was absolutely wonderful to hear. The performance, just watching the performance was great. It's very different from the album version. So it's just another one of those things where I have to rank it separately altogether. I'm pretty sure I gave the album version a 10. I would have to give this one a 10 as well, just because it's very stripped down. It's very, no, I mean, yeah. Okay. So I get it. It's its own thing though. It's very stripped down. It's very you feel James's vulnerability, and just knowing how nervous he was going into doing this performance. And you can hear it in his voice. And this is the one time I won't dock that, because he is putting himself way out there in this case. And this version is just wonderful.
What about you, Nick? What do you think?
I do not have a whole lot to add. I don't think I wasn't a big fan of the original version anyway. So I don't really have a whole lot to add.
All right. Are you going to rank it about the same as you ranked the album version?
Yep.
7.
Yeah.
Going to 7 that sucker up. How about you, Nate?
So this is where we're going to have a chat, fellas, because this song deserves the 11 that I want to give it. It really does. I mean, like, you can't convince me it deserves anything other than that, mainly because everything that Brandon and both Dick have said, it's the vulnerability of James. It's him knowing the journey he was on. He knew what path he was taking. Getting through S&M2 was like the fucking hitting the checkpoint where he could say, now I can check out for a minute. Now I know I can get myself into rehab, get myself right, whatever that means. None of our business, obviously, but it's a very powerful moment, and it's just him unleashing. It's him really, proverbially speaking, he's slicing his wrists in front of the crowd and bleeding on them to show them how he feels and how real it is, you know.
That's a very visceral description, Nate.
Well, it is, but it's very impactful because yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, the reason I know, I get it, what you're saying. I'm not trying to detract from it.
Sure.
But like, you know, Nick over there, like has a gimmick where he brings out a super soaker full of like rum during Rum Gun Salute, and he squirts rum. So I could just see James slicing his wrist, is like, yeah, motherfucker, bleed, and everyone's like, ah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's but what I'm saying is that you can't hear that song song and think about yourself as just as a person,
Mhm.
not even necessarily if you've been as in such a dark path or place as he's been, but just as a person in our own travels. You can't listen to that song and not connect on such a powerful way when you go into self-reflection. I
Sure.
think that's why the song hits for me so hard. And like I said, I know we're going to stick a 10 here, but it is every bit of an 11 as it ever could be. James taking like the ultimate risk as a vocalist. That's really hard to do.